Hi, my name is Morgan McCabe, and I'm going to review two apps that I feel are very necessary to be having in a classroom, especially for music. So the first app that I'm going to be talking about, it's called Music Tutor. It's a free app that you can get through your iPad, and so using that essentially will help students. And one of the main problems that typically are seen in classrooms and that a lot of higher education teachers discuss is how students aren't learning how to read music early enough. Some of the best musicians, including Mozart, Beethoven, Debussy, Michael Jackson for all, learned how to read music at such young ages that it helped them in their careers when it came to creating music. And so this app begins by just showing students how to read music on a staff. And the best part about it is that you can adjust how long they're playing. It's done through a game. And so this app, you can adjust it through how the length, how much they're learning. And so one of the things is it goes through many staffs, which is something you normally wouldn't see. It would usually only basically be done through the treble and the bass. But luckily it adjusts so kids can use it for their own personal use. So if they're playing the viola, it has the alto clef, and it has a tenor clef on there too. And so it's perfect for you. It goes through all ranges that they would be most comfortable in and the best place to start. Another good thing about it is it also includes not just regular notes with all your naturals, but it also has sharps and flats and double sharps and double flats when it's doing it. And so the kids are learning how to identify those quickly. And I think that's a wonderful app to be having in the school system and starting that very young. It's very easy to use. So even just having your first graders and second graders doing it, being able to read music is actually a skill that can last with you through your entire life. And it's very fortunate for students that can start reading music very young. When they get older, they turn into impeccable musicians just from how skilled they started and where it goes. And it's something that most children find. Most kids go throughout music their entire school lives. And so being able to adjust and learning how to read that music is really something special. And so having this app is something that I find very important to keep in the classroom, especially when beginning for your music students. The second app that I find is actually something that you would probably use more for your advanced students, and this is called tabs. Now, tabs is generally used for that's a guitar term, and so when you're learning guitar, they're called tabs instead of notes or like intervals, and it also works for banjos. And so tabs is also another app which actually works best when you're trying to encourage students to continue their learning in music. And so what it essentially is you can go into this app and you can type in your favorite band. So let's say you just really want to listen to Dust in the Wind by Kansas. And so you're going to go in, you'll type Dust in the Wind in Kansas, and it gives you a list of instruments to choose from that you can choose, like the ukulele, percussion, not drums, that's percussion, but percussion, guitar, just piano chords, and it takes it into the song. And you can click on version 1 and it'll take you into this song and it'll show you the opening riff of the song and the chord progression that it went into. And so it's just something that lets you visualize what you're hearing, and then it goes in and it'll play the opening notes. So the first lyrics of Just in the Wind is bum bum bum. That's the beginning part, and it shows you that chord progression that you're hearing and how to play it. And so I believe it starts in a G major chord. And so when you're playing your G major chord, that's something you can play on the piano and going along. And it has all different kinds of music in it, not just early rock, but it just has everything that you would want. And finding that connection for students is a fantastic way for them to want to learn more about music, and getting them to learn how to play it for guitar is also one of the best early ways, and honestly one of the more modern ways that students are saying how they like to learn music is they like to learn guitar to play those songs that they listen to the radio and constantly are engaging in, that's what they want. And so I think having this app is an amazing feature to have in your classroom, because it's showing kids like the connection of like learning what's in your songs. I've honestly was just playing on this app for a couple hours, just going up to the keyboard and taking out songs that I've known my entire life and learning just the common deals so I could be like perform with them. And I think that's just something that's really, really fun about it. And I think it would help encourage students to do it more. And it comes in different levels too. So the first version of, again, we'll use Dust in the Wind as the example, but the first version of it is very simple. And so every measure of what the song would be has a chord progression. But if you keep going down versions, you start getting into more difficult things of what it actually is like in different keys, and how you would actually play it on the piano as if you were playing it as in the guitar instead of just holding out notes. And so it helps you like gain more just diversity in your learning and makes you more almost professional, I guess, in a sense of where you are able to learn how to play this music, and if someone needs you to play something, you become adaptable to it. And so learning just the general things of being able to understand chord progressions, which are used very popularly in popular music, so you would be able to just use it and finally start to understand what the progression is, how it moderns on. And so I think this app is fantastic, and that's just what you get through the free. If you wanted to pay, I think it's $2.95 a month to get the pro version, which is something I'll probably end up investing in. It comes with 2 different kinds of tuners, a tuner that you would use for an instrument and a tuner to help you learn. So basically just ear training comes in with this app, which is again another skill that goes back to the music tutor app, a skill that people should have, and it's very wonderful. And it also comes with a metronome, and so having that keeps you just more. And both of these apps are something that I will definitely use in my future careers as a music educator, just because of how amazing they are. And it just invests so much time and like work that people created these because they understood the importance of having music in your world. And right now technology is the way to learn. And so it's great. And I definitely recommend using both apps, Tabs and Music Tutor.